Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ESR Sabina's tribute round. We are going at breakneck pace because Martin forgot to start the recording in time, and we are just like breaking off into it. Maurice Delgado is like going freaking sliding out of something. This is Nordschleife, of course, is a Group 5 race cars. I'm practicing my, what do they call it? Practicing my, auctioneer voice. Sorry, we're watching on a really weird delayed stream here. So yes, we got Greenwood Corvette, BMW. I think that's a 3 Series.
Yeah.
We got Zaxby Capri. We got a different kind of Corvette, more different Corvette. Oh no, we got Corvette and Decon Monza. I forgot about that. We got Nissan. We got Colavecchi. He's freaking sitting in the pits, man. It's just chaos.
Where's the
25-minute
Porsche
races, two of them.
935?
Reverse grid. There's no Porsches.
Yeah, there is.
Nah, there ain't none. Maurice Delgado's hot on the tail of James Butler in that freaking Decon Monza. Look at that chunky ass, man. That thing needs a slap. Look how tiny the spoiler is compared to the back. It's Bosch, allegedly. I don't know, if Bosch designed that. I think I might not have any more confidence in Bosch products.
I mean, it's just there for looks, of course. It doesn't actually do anything.
Yes, it's for lift off rather than downforce. I'm digging it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, might as well. I mean, this is the 80s, so they're just barely starting to figure out downforce.
That was the 60s.
Group 5 in the 60s?
No, they started discovering it in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
F1 cars started getting lazy.
Well, they discovered it in the 60s. They only started like figuring out how to actually make it work well.
Whoa,
in like the 80s.
So fast.
Yeah, interesting. It's almost like airplanes can be used in reverse.
Basically.
Or I should say upside down. Oh, that turbo blow-off valve, it sounds so good. Dude, I'm on record saying, whoa, Dennis Johnson going way wide in whatever that corner is. That's scary. But James Butler did the same thing too. So Mauricio Delgado is the only one with any actual, well, just kidding. Dennis Johnson obliterated him. Very interesting. What was I gonna say?
You're on record as saying...
Oh, I'm record saying that, yeah, that the Group 5 Capri is one of the best sounding cars. Whoa! Mauricio Delgado hot on the inside of Dennis Johnson, who just can't figure out his racing line today. And yeah, that's it. Man, that BMW looks, it looks like a fish out of water with the low and wide Capri behind it. I mean, they almost look like they could be cousins, just the way that they're set up. Like the Capri is just so low and wide, whereas the BMW is relatively chunky.
That's not possible. They're not American. They can't be cousins.
I mean, you know, Europe in the 80s was something else. I don't know where I'm going with that. Inbreeding, maybe? I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
But now it's Mauricio who can't figure out his driving line. These cars are very difficult to handle, very unstable, especially with a bumpy Nordschleife. Oh, good luck, dudes. Going back through the ranks, we got Carrier Node, Scott Nick, Josiah Jerome, someone Maj, and someone else, Colavecchi. Colavecchi, pasta rigatoni.
We're banned from Italy.
It's the best part. Whoa, James Butler going way wide on, I forget what this corner is. Oh, and he's going way spinning. Wow, what a camera angle. Dennis Johnson just barely avoiding hitting him. The Decon Monza is not the friendliest car to drive in the best of circumstances. And Carrier Node passing in that Nissan Silvia, I believe, or it's a Skyline 2000 GTR.
Whoa, James Butler.
That Chevy is not looking happy at all. It's got smushed. Got a little accordion action going on. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised you haven't had more of this stuff. Or a night in.
No, I get smashed.
Hey. It's gonna be interesting to see what James Butler decides to do. Whoa, Dennis Johnson getting slidey up in here. But it's gonna be interesting to see what James Butler does. There's no doubt that repairing damage will be a not bad idea, but with only like 3 laps, that could be troublesome.
Well, yes, it
so
is
Dennis Johnson
to Scott Nick, and then life is good.
Well, he's holding him off somehow. That Decon Monza looked really, really bad. although he's losing multiple seconds every few seconds. So
Nice.
I suspect his time is limited in third place or
Yes, the
fourth
floor
place.
is made out of floor.
Shut up.
Me.
And did Dennis Johnson get by? Yes, he did. Nope, just kidding. My stream lagged. Oh, but it might happen. No, oh, it gets a tap. Ooh, and Marisa goes sliding, but is able to recover it. What do you mean they didn't die?
What do you mean?
That's not what I paid for.
I paid for death and I want death.
Right?
Give me death or I'll sue.
I just realized how completely ridiculous this like drivetrain setup is. They're friggin' not only are they using big fat turbos, but they designed the engines to be small and revvy. So they're basically creating as much turbo lag as possible. It's like, did they do that on purpose?
Yes.
Well, I approve.
Cool, they don't know what turbo lag is. They just thought big turbo means big power.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not wrong. It just has some unintended consequences. I don't know. I think turbo lag is something we should bring back. Like what the heck? Whoa,
Give the
bringing
F1
that
cars turbo lag.
right. Well, as we hear that onboard of Dennis Johnson ringing that Zach Speed Capri all the way up to 10,000 RPMs. What a wonderful sound. Uh,
That
but
BMW is fast.
BMW is not too slow at all, is it?
Look how much you gained on the straight.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of crazy. But
James, I
anyway.
don't think your car looks great.
Oh wow, it's Scott Nick versus James Butler.
That
So
never happens.
he just got by at right now. Wow, that took a long time. Wonder if Nick might have had some troubles as well. Um, but like yeah, like I was saying, the modern like street cars should have more turbo lag.
They do.
Like what?
They should.
They should, yes. Just because like that's half the fun. We keep wanting cars that are faster and faster. I don't know. I think who wants more than 300 horsepower, 400 at tops, right? Like if you just made it more,
Uh-oh.
if you
Okay.
made those 400 horsepower more exciting,
Give
like
that,
make it
that
an
new Miata?
occasion. What?
Give that Miata turbo, like the new Miata.
Yeah. Honestly, Miatas have like 170 horsepower or whatever. If you give them 200, not even that big of a bump, but then had some dramatic turbo lag, oh, you better believe it'd act like it had a 700. So we got Dennis Johnson still hot on the tail of Mauricio Delgado, not getting too phased by that obvious deficiency in straight line speed. As James Butler falls dramatically behind Jerome and Maj.
I'll
So I
fall
suspect he
dramatically.
did take that pit stop offering. What?
I fell dramatically.
You fell dramatic. Oh no!
Oh no, I'm going to fall.
Whoa! Peak content. I was trying to combine commentary and content. So it looks like I wanted to say that the Capri was better in the corners, but it seems only really high speed corners because he's not really gaining any on Delgado through this the section after Foxhole.
Yes. Cole, did you
Yes.
know Byron just graduated high school?
No, but looking at the notifications I'm getting every 13 milliseconds, I think that's the case. You want to cut Byron open and count his rings? I mean, you can just look on his fingers. You don't need to cut him open. Man, it's amazing. You can see, like, even with these very high precision race cars, they wallow and their suspension is relatively soft. Dennis Johnson's barely avoiding the wall. That was
Johnson,
close.
damn.
So we should have.
bro.
We should have asked our drivers. I mean, it's way too late now, but we should have asked our drivers if they were using H pattern shifters or not. Because
I would have.
I'm a firm believer. If you're not driving these things with H pattern, you're doing it wrong.
No, you're just cheating. You should get a penalty.
Right?
You should make GT3 cars H patterns.
I 100% agree, dude. I think we should
Audi
get rid of
R8
traction.
H pattern.
I
Lamborghini
think
Huracan H pattern.
get rid of traction control, get rid of ABS, and manual H patterns.
Whoa!
Whoa! That turbo like is a kicker.
Reminds me of the Lewis 98T.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'd even be okay with not H pattern in GT3s, but they have to go back to the sequential shift with the frickin' lever. You should have to take your hand. Those are my favorite. I friggin' love it so much.
GT1.
Right? Paddles are for frickin' wimps. Paddles are for wimps. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you don't need pedals.
Paddles.
No pedals.
Okay,
You don't need pedals either.
Alex Zanardi agrees with you.
You should be forced to use hand controls. We really confuse them.
You should use head controls. You have to like bash your head on the steering wheel in order to go faster.
No, you tilt your head to the right or left to go up a gear.
So if you're in a turn, you better have your neck muscles up. Yeah, right. Also like that Zaxby's team livery, or the Saks team livery, I suppose it is.
Saks.
Really 80s. Really late 70s, early 80s with the muted color palette.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Doesn't Zaxby's run a GT3 in modern times?
Yes, they run a Mercedes / a Viper.
You know, I was just gonna make a comment on how they couldn't have possibly chosen two different cars, but thinking about it, those cars are not super dissimilar in principle. Big, heavy, cruising coupes.
With big engines up front.
Huge engines, gigantic penises, I mean noses.
No, that's the drivers.
I mean, obviously, the Viper has the bigger penis, I mean nose. But,
I mean, that's just facts.
What's the biggest engine that's been put in a production car since like the 60s?
8.4 liter V10.
What is, because, so if 5 liter is 302, then what's 8.4?
They do 8.4 liters in cubic inches.
Is that 500? 8.4 liters in cubic inches. It's 512. Fuck. That's freaking crazy. My dad had a Chevelle with a 454 in it, and that's it's a V8, but it's absolutely massive. That's like what, 7.7 liters or something?
Gas mileage?
Yeah,
What gas mileage?
7.4. Holy crap! I mean, this is almost an entire liter. It's exactly an entire liter bigger. That's freaking insane.
Cool.
I mean, individually, the cylinders are bigger, as Dennis Johnson almost gives Marisa Legato the 1-2 punch.
He's not catching him.
The individual cylinders are bigger, but like, holy crap.
That BMW is gone.
He's out of here. What does the Bugatti Veyron use? That's 8 liters, right?
Yes.
So it's absolutely wimpy comparison.
I mean, yeah. He's got to get on Dodge's level. Yeah, he's like on the limiter halfway down the straight.
Yeah.
No wonder the BMW just
needed to
leaves him
adjust his
behind.
gears a little bit, even though there's a fixed setup.
Can't be fixed up because he's got different cars.
Well, I mean, you're not allowed to change it from stock. And his iDrum goes off right before the mini carousel.
Isn't Josiah Jerome the championship leader?
I believe he is. We got some manual camera work here. Ooh, very snazzy.
That's why Martin was in this race. Who's too busy doing this or jerking off?
Maybe both.
Yeah, at the same time, while watching this.
It's amazing he's able to get all this camera footage.
Yeah, Josiah, drive that Corvette.
That Greenwood Corvette is a fucking beast.
Isn't that 8.4 liters? Or 9?
No, I don't think that's that can't be bigger than a 454.
It's gotta be 9 liters.
17 liters.
Yep, V12.
V73.
No,
No yawning allowed.
Make
Oh yeah,
me,
you're right.
bitch.
You're right. Josiah Drum is our points leader as it stands.
He's not having a good day in his first race.
Not doing great.
Let's see if Josiah can catch up 2.1 seconds in a lap.
Mauricio Delgado is going to put a reasonably sized, take a reasonably sized bite out of his lead here.
Unless Mauricio absolutely fucks it up.
Mauricio's in second place in the tourney. He's 16 points down, and this will give him a pretty decent size. We'll reduce that gap. Very interesting. Dennis Johnson in our scoring table is listed as only ever driving the Porsche 911 GT3R, whereas everyone else is listed as multi-class, which, you know, it is.
Was Dennis in any other one? I don't
Yeah,
think
this
so.
one right here.
Well,
he's driving the Capri.
Oh, I ought to smack you with my dick.
Oh, do it. Why oughta?
Why ought to? No, just
Why
Janice Johnson.
Janice Donson. Josiah Drum is catching Maj ahead. He's only got. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. And by just Dennis Johnson, I mean Josiah Drum. He was 3 seconds, but now he's falling again in dramatic fashion. Matt, can we get a retake of the dramatic falling?
Fuck
Fantastic.
you.
10 out of 10. Whoa, look at the size of that gurney flap on that Mauricio Delgado BMW. That is flap and a half, we shall say.
Just listen to turbo.
Oh, that's so good. No, stop.
What, you don't want me to start moaning?
Ooh, that view is something. Martin, good job on the camera work. I mean, that sucks. Now it's great. Now it sucks. There we go.
Oh, there goes Dennis Johnson.
He went around the inside, but didn't have the power. That gurney flap is just wreaking havoc with his something.
That's not a gurney flap. That's a second element of the wing.
Right? Ooh, Dennis Johnson got the run out, but it's not enough to take over.
I wonder how much power that BMW has.
A million.
Compared.
What a weird sight those two cars are, one behind the other.
The Capri is by far the better looking car.
It's good to know that BMW is still continuing the trend of outrageous looking huge race cars to this day. One of my favorite memes in the recent memory is the giant M8 meme.
To mate?
Yeah, the giant mate. Pinky. Uh-oh, Josiah Jerome not having a good day, falling back even farther. Whoa, Dennis Johnson going for it, but it ended up not working out. He got.
Did Josiah hit him, or Mauricio?
No, he took a bite out of a curb, it looked like.
Mauricio.
Mauricio. So 5 3/4 minutes left. I think they'll have enough time for one more lap. So it looks like James Butler has gotten ahead of Josiah Jerome, actually. So he must have had some pretty catastrophic damage. Oh, you can hear Dennis Johnson. Yeah, I think that Capri has a definite cornering advantage. Because you can hear he's not being super hard on the throttle, just hanging out behind Mauricio, which is tragic.
Oh, Josiah Jerome.
Josiah Jerome driving through penalty, speeding in the pit lane.
I mean, that's kind of unfortunate.
I mean, the pit lane's like 20 feet long. How do you... Oh, wait, these cars don't have pit speed limiter. Oh, you have to do it yourself. Rip.
Big stretch.
Big ol' stretch. What are you stretching?
these nuts. Ha!
Nice.
Got him. Why, you don't like my sound effects?
No, I didn't say I didn't like him. Oh,
No!
Dennis Johnson again!
Dennis
Off.
Johnson!
Dennis Johnson!
Dennis Johnson?
Dennis Johnson. Mark Bronson. Mauricio Flonson.
Mulcahy.
Yes. Creating a spooner as a meta my name doesn't work very well. Oh, by the way, I'm Cole McRae and that's Matt Higgs. I forgot to do that at the intro.
No, I'm Matthew Miggs.
Shut the hell up. I could hear your shit-eating grin as you said that. You friggin' smug face. No, I'm Hat Miggs.
Miggs.
Oh my god. If I
thought your name was Xmas Jackson Flaxen Maxon.
Oh my god. It's only getting worse. Martin, you should just tell us not to do these anymore. I can hear the ratings tanking as we speak.
What are you talking about? I improved the rankings.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Oh yeah, so Mauricio Delgado is currently going 280 plus kilometers an hour, and the freaking Dennis Johnson in the Zach
like
Speed
250
last time around is like 250, 260. So he's got a definite. Wow, that's a slide and a half. Wow, that looks so sketchy. I mean, it's well known that you can't drive these cars without sliding them, but that at that speed with that kind of a slide, oh man. How you are not constantly having a brown pants moment, I have no clue.
They're just saying piles of poo.
Delicious.
Oh yeah. I thought that was the last lap. It's
No,
not.
it wasn't. Nope. They had 5 minutes left as they were just entering the carousel, so. Josiah Jerome, that poor Greenwood Corvette, is having a rough time. Woohoo! Full left lock. Nice save from Josiah Jerome. That was fantastic. So I can't decide whether it's better or worse that the
Aww.
so you can tell that the audio is clipping just because the how they recorded it, like their microphones weren't good enough, which is just because these engines have the freaking raw sound of an exploding star. And we can oh, that's a nice save, but it didn't quite work out. Oh, poor Josiah.
Josiah's having a terrible day. Cool, I will fuck you.
Do it. Don't threaten me with a good time.
What does Martin think? Should we ask him?
I mean, if he watches this, he'll give an answer. Martin,
Probably send it to you.
If you're skipping through and you happen on this this chunk right here, skip backwards maybe 40 seconds, and answer the question we ask, or specifically that
Or
Matt
don't.
asked.
Or don't.
No, do it.
No, don't.
Yep. Martin,
Don't want to do
we
that.
love you.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah, you do. Martin, if you're just tuning in now, go back about 1 minute and 40 seconds and
Go watch
answer the
fuck
question that Matt asked. Because I forgot it already.
Dennis Johnson.
Matt, how freaking high are you right now?
About 5'4".
Fudge. Just freaking, just like talking. Matt randomly just says, Dennis Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we haven't seen a Nissan in a minute. I didn't know there were 4 cylinders. That's so weird.
Christophe Mage.
Oh god, that name, yeah. Christophe Mage. So Mauricio has just got no freaking contest. 5 seconds out until Dennis.
Dennis has caught up about 3 seconds this lap so far.
Oh really? Oh yeah,
yes.
Wow, he's gaining time. Dennis Onsen.
Mauricio Malgado.
Doricio. Sounds like he's trying to make fun of people.
Airy Curno.
God, Carnot. Hot Snick.
God's sick.
Fames Jutler.
Josiah Jerome.
Oh, whoa. It changes so much. Oh, Dennis Johnson on the freaking whatever that is.
Wall riding.
It's a strat. It's a strat.
Exactly. Top strats. That's an esports thing. You wouldn't understand.
The name's John. Fames John.
No, the name's Jenna's Donson.
The name's Penis Flaunson. This is content, right? This qualifies.
I was just anything is content. You doing strip teases is content, surprisingly enough.
Well, that's only content for the OnlyFans.
Yeah, what happened to the ESR OnlyFans? Martin, aren't you supposed to be the head of that?
He is the head of that in more ways than one, if you know what I'm saying. It's a penis joke.
Yeah.
But Matt, you're supposed to be our main contributor. I haven't gotten a single set of nudes this month, and I am very disappointed.
This month? What about last month?
I mean, we don't talk about last month.
I'm talking about last month.
I broke the mirrors off my Cadillac because I don't like they looking like they look back. I messed up that quote.
Look back at it, whoa. Look back at it, whoa.
Goddamn.
Yes, Donson is 3.2 seconds.
It's a Tame Impala joke. Or a song, not joke.
Lame Timpala.
His Cadillac. God damn it. Stop with the spoonerisms, you daft punk.
Half dunk.
Stop! This is what we have to freaking. This is what we have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen.
Turton.
Aoben. Ladies and gentlemen, every race I commentate on, I make sure to advertise. You know, just plug ESR a little bit. But this is what I have to go through on a daily basis. I have to friggin' this Matt guy.
Hey babe, come back to bed.
He's like my protege, right? But sometimes.
I am your protege. You're my protege, bitch. Get on your knees.
Not even. I'll fight you.
Say
Oh,
less.
Dennis Johnson, big ol' slide, and that's gonna be it for him. Race is gonna have to screw this up real hard in order to lose. Oh, and we get a flashback for a moment.
Sustin Juwan.
Now he's just going all over the place. What he's doing, ladies and gents, is going through the list of our admins and contributors and just spoonerizing them.
Artman Middens.
Art and Midmans. God damn it.
Michael Vegas.
Oh my god, I hate you so much.
Dyra Berkson.
What? Oh, Byron Dirksen, got it.
Wef Gentworth.
Wef Gentworth. Oh my gosh. This is our content.
Oh, Josiah, Maurice's out of fuel.
Is he? No, he's just not in gear. His engine's still running. I wonder if he's waiting for Dennis.
I can hear someone in the background.
It's probably Dennis. There he is. Oh no, they're gonna do a parade. Oh, a little. Ooh, can we show this? Oh, wow.
Whoa, what the fuck?
A little bit of quantum entanglement going on.
Is there no
maybe he
damage?
did run a gas. It's at 3,100 RPM.
Janice Donson is like has no damage despite that spin.
Make it stop. Yeah, how does he have no damage? Man, I guess those Capris are freaking resilient.
Yeah, I believe that.
God, as weird as they look, I love the freaking aero packages on these cars. They're freaking ridiculous.
Oh, totally
that's-
impractical.
That's gonna be it for Mauricio Delgado. Led the entire race. He ran out of fuel in the last lap. Wait. Okay. Hands up. Matt Higgs is also recording with one hand. Man, and and people wonder why our ratings are dropping off.
Who said they're dropping off?
Me.
If anything, they're improving.
You just keep on thinking that, Sonny.
It's true.
What? Stoop?
It's true.
It's true.
What's another admin?
Oh god. Yeah, so wow, in this weird alternate universe we're living in, Mauricio Delgado ran out of fuel and is gonna be last, second to last.
Well, technically, he didn't finish the last lap, so he's automatically last. Like,
But Colavetti retired.
yeah. Colavetti didn't even start, did they?
He might have. But wow, only 2 people submitted. Oh, the clean laps, right? Or 3 people. Well, no, very close between Johnson and Delgado. So our running order is Johnson, Arnaud, Nick, Maj, and some other dudes.
Nice.
I didn't take a picture like I usually do.
Whoa. Nice car.
Oh.
Ah.
But anyway, so we have a top 8 reverse grid, I assume. It's normally supposed to be top 8, but since our entire field is 8 now, you know, maybe something different. Looks
Oh,
like it's
yeah.
gonna be... Yeah, it looks like it.
I wonder if the guy's gonna jump on the grid there. There's an
Probably
empty
not.
spot.
I don't know, but that guy with a camera in the audience is pointing entirely the wrong direction.
Bro, the car's on the grid.
Yeah, the cars are behind you.
We know those girls over there, but we don't care.
What are you? Uh-oh. And we're ready for round 2. They keep holding forward a little bit. Are there false starts? I think there might be. Nope. But where green flag's going is Christophe Maj gets punted by Carrier Arnaud.
Wait, who do we live? Mauricio? No, we haven't received that, Colavetti.
Scott Nick got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit
How?
lane. Even though he hasn't been in the pits, I think that might be just a graphics glitch. But as Jerome, that green one Corvette is going to have to hold off these much lighter and more nimble cars. Yes, game, we know you're dumb.
Facts.
So let's see if Josiah can keep it off the wall long enough to put that enormous V8 in that Camaro to good use. Or Corvette, excuse me. How can I call myself American? Meanwhile,
I
James
can't.
Butler is
You're
doing
Canadian
well
now.
in the deck on Monza. Okay, well, give me my citizenship. I want to move out of here.
Sounds good.
The people are too stupid. I am truly amazed they're able to go over that bump without getting air. Look at the freaking hips on that girl. Damn, whoa! Friggin' fluke
Disgusting.
quads. Getting sideways on fluke quads. Yep, the Schradenkreuz. Yeah, so it turns out the Corvette actually isn't that much faster. I wonder how the deck on Monza compares. Oh no, and he went immediately off! Oh, right before Foxhole. I don't know how the brakes are. I think it's at 4-speed. But now Mauricio Delgado is yet again in first place, fending off James Butler. Carnot and Christophe Maj are dueling it out in the Nissans. These are different Nissans. There's a Skyline and a Silvia. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
No, this is the same car confirmed.
No.
Yes.
Let's look at the lights. They're way different. Perfect. Ooh, and he gets a tap in the butt, but they both recover it. So, yeah, it looks like James Butler's not losing too much time to Mauricio Delgado in front. Oh, and Mauricio Delgado goes way wide, hits the wall, allows James Butler through. The Deccan Monza is now in first place, which is not something I thought I would say.
It's time for everything, I tell you.
And you're not wrong. So I don't know if it... Oh, okay, yeah, so the, I don't know why it does this, but for some reason I think it's something has something to do with the reason why crap, I can't speak. It has something to do with the way that the game's sound files are programmed. But the Capri, it's very picky. Like the sounds change, the sounds of the engines change depending on how perfectly you shift. And if you like, oh, James Butler getting way off track and just driving it out. Ooh, but he keeps dipping too. That is sketchy as hell. I approve. But as I was saying, the car makes very varied sounds. The Capri does, the better you shift. And like if you let the game do it, automatic mode, it'll just go bah, 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 like kind of like normal. But if you get it just right, it'll sound interesting. Well, let's see if Dennis Johnson can do it again.
I wonder.
And that was pretty normal. It's really weird. It also might be kind of psychosomatic. Look at all those guys. Ooh, James Butler going around the outside of the carousel, not leaving enough room for Dennis Johnson. So Johnson had to brake on the carousel, which is always a good idea.
You excited for the F1 race this weekend?
No.
Damn.
I don't even know where it is. Whoa, no,
Monaco.
James Butler. Oh, the deck on Monza gets accordioned again. Oh no, and he can't keep it off the wall anymore. Those dirty tires. What a shame. I would have loved to see him win. Don't freaking drop your magic 8 ball. James Butler teleports to the pits. That's gonna be it for this race.
It's not too late.
It's always too late.
It's
Not
all
too late. It's always too late.
It's all ogre now.
It is.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Shrek is indeed love and life. So that leaves Dennis Johnson yet again to pick up the lead. Mauricio Delgado 5 seconds behind, but he's losing time as we speak. I love that turbo gauge.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Look at that. You can count the amount of time it takes in like minutes for that turbo to spool all the way up.
Sorry, my turbo will be spooled up in about 3 to 5 business days.
Now Maj goes spinning as you see in the background there, giving Josiah Jerome 5th place. So I did an experiment, right? This is a while ago. We were at Sonoma, and Ayrton and I were driving. We were doing Group 5s versus GTOs. So for these of you who aren't aware, GTO is basically the Group 5 equivalent for America. Wait. Yes. Yeah, one or the other. One's for America, one's for basically Europe. And there's like a Nissan 300ZX GTO. And it basically serves the role of the Capri. Huge turbo lag, but good speed. But I swore that the 300ZX had more turbo lag than anything else I'd ever driven. And so Ayrton and I got in. We put our cars in top gear, which is 5th, and we like started at like 40 miles an hour, which is maybe 80 kilometers an hour, 70, and we just floored it in fifth gear, just like 2,000 RPMs, nothing, and it was horrible. Like the cars, just hated it. But he eventually got up to like 80, 90, 100 before we had to brake. I never got higher than 50 miles an hour. It was insane. The stupid 300ZX, like the turbo lag is prodigious. It's immense. It was literally minutes it took before it got any power. Because the next test we did was at Nordschleife, and we got on the back straight. We just like, okay, fifth gear, 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, go. We just pedaled down, and he took off pretty slowly, but it took half the straight for me to get into like 120 miles an hour. It was insane. So the moral of the story is, kids, we need to do GTOs in this series. These kitties and these Capris and BMWs, they don't know how good they have it. Although wait, the Audi's in GTO, so that's kind of cheat mode.
Kind of cheat mode.
I think Dennis Johnson could extract a little more speed out of that Capri if he lengthened the gears, but sadly I don't think they're allowed to change the setups at all.
That's a lot of effort going into these. Oh no, it's a big crash.
What? What'd you say? Okay, good night, Matt. That boy did. So Dennis Johnson is continually pulling away from Mauricio Delgado up to 6 seconds. He was only up to 5 seconds last lap, so he's not gaining that much. But we're approaching halfway in this final race of the day. And the real battle seems to be between Jerome, Maj, and Butler for 5th. They're pretty stacked up. You could probably toss a blanket over all three cars, but we can't see it. So it looks like we lost Colavecchi or whatever his name was. And this race is kind of turning out to be pretty, it's working out now. As unfortunate as it is, we just got cars driving around. Good sounding cars, good looking cars, but alas, no battles. The last one with Delgado and Johnson kind of was the rest of them. Might as well use this time that we have to go over the final round of this series, which will be on May 23rd, 2021, so in just 4 days now. It will be at the Nordschleife, of course, standard layout, but round 4 will be featuring the Porsche Carrera Cup Classic, that is the 964 air-cooled Porsches. So, also known as Death. That sounds horrible, in the best way. Extremely challenging. Those Porsches are so, like, when people describe the way a Porsche drives, I've never driven one in real life, but normally I hear people describe the way Porsche drives. They describe it and it's like it's oversteering and it rotates in the right ways. But really, what Porsche has done in modern times is they've made it basically into a mid-engine car. It's their engine, yes, is technically behind the rear wheels, but it's not even really comparable. Driving some stuff in these sims, the Porsche 964 is, it's almost undrivable. Like, it's so difficult. It oversteers at every possible opportunity, which is very difficult. And for race cars, sure, whatever. Street cars, I'm amazed that people weren't killed on daily basis driving these things. Maybe it's because when they got into an accident, the car disintegrated around them and basically acted like a friggin' crumple zone. But I mean, yeah, I've tried them in R Factor, Automobilista, which is basically R Factor, Race Room, this game, instead of Corsa, and they all seem to agree more or less that they're just so hard to drive. Have you ever driven a Porsche in real life, Matt? And he's gone. No, that's fine. I'll just assume he said no. But yes, as I was saying, the Porsche 964s are the last round 4. And so that will be very interesting. Currently, as we stand with round 3, not yet undertaken, so before these races right here happen, we have Josiah Jerome sitting first in the championship with 95 points, Mircea Delgado in second with 79, Richard Durocher in third with 56, followed by Dennis Johnson with 42, 10x better, which I assume is, oh wait, no, I assume that's our node. Takahita Muraoka in 6th with 38, Martin Edmonds 7th with 36, Scott Nick in 8th with 20, and James Butler in last with 18. That's 9th place, by the way. So it's not buttoned up, but between 2 and 3 especially, and between 1 and 2, it could be difficult, especially with that DNF he just had with Mauricio Delgado. However, anything beyond 3rd place is currently up for grabs. There's less than 2 points separating pretty much all of them, with the exception of Scott Nick and Martin Edmonds, of which there's a 16-point gap. Although with Martin Edmonds not participating in this race, it's easy to say that Scott Nick could overtake him. So we got 10 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock as Mauricio Delgado rounds the final turn. That means there will be 2 more laps. I believe these 2 will lap in about 6:40 something. One thing about these Ford Capris I really envy is, I mean, they're basically the European equivalent of the Mustang at the time. And man, in my opinion, they're so much cooler. Like, nothing wrong with a Mustang, big old V8 smoky burnouts, 2+2 configuration, but they sold a Capri on the same platform as a Mustang here in America called the Mercury Capri. And I still want one of those, but it has less character than the Ford Capri over in Europe. Obviously not as much as this Group 5 race car spec, but I don't know, they just had like a more menacing look to them. The Mustangs always looked great, but they were more kind of just regular brawny, whereas the Capris were like mysterious and they felt deadlier, like from a racing perspective, not a safety perspective. It's times like this when I think and reflect that, man, I do know and I realize and I accept that electric cars are the future. But man, I'm gonna miss that sound. Even though this is a video game, and we'll always have video games, but man, that's, oh, gives me chills. If they can find a way to make electric cars, electric motors loud, which seems oxymoronic, but if they can find a way to do that, I'm friggin' sold. Like, Matt, are you there? Well, if you guys have ever heard of the Von Gittin Jr. Mustang Mach-E. So, for those unaware, the Mach-E Mustang is basically an electric crossover vehicle created by Ford. And people kind of are down on it because it takes the Mustang name and applies it to something that's traditionally not very Mustang-like. But Von Gittin Jr. and his team had a go at tuning one, and they just went absolutely nuts. And they used, I believe, 7 electric motors in tandem to make 1,400 horsepower, all-wheel drive, of course. And this thing freaking shrieks. Like, they call it the Mach-E 1400. I think they should call it the Banshee, because the noise it makes is actually really loud, and it's awesome. Like, I would love it if I had an electric car that sounded like that. Now, ideally, I'd also like to have a transmission so I could, change gear ratios, but that's more for a sound thing anyway. Ford also did a Mustang Cobra Jet E 1400 using the same powertrain almost, but that was a drag car, a Mustang drag car based off of the sports car. And 0 to 60 under 2 seconds, quarter-mile time less than 8, I believe. So pretty astounding beasts. And those two in particular, just sound very good. Not as good as this, perhaps, but still. Hopefully one day we'll get to the point where electric cars can sound just as good as gasoline cars. Or diesel, if you're into that. So brief rundown, Dennis Johnson still leads Mauricio Delgado, and the gap is widening. 15 seconds now between the two, and another 15 near enough between Mauricio Delgado and Kerry Arnaud. Almost 30 between those two, Kerry Arnaud and Scott Nick. And then the retired Corvette of Josiah Jerome sits there lonely in 5th. It's so interesting looking at this Capri. It kind of reminds me of the principle behind modern Le Mans prototypes. If you look at them, and you probably have, they look massive in isolation. Like, they look like these enormous cars just taking advantage of tons of aero and huge white tires and stuff. They're actually not that big. They're actually pretty small. Like, even sat up next to a 911 GT3 Cup car, the Porsche 919. It's not really any longer, and it's certainly shorter. And looking at these Group 5s, between BMW and Fab Car notwithstanding, they're actually kind of small. If you look in that, Dennis Johnson before the second to last, or I should say the turn before the mini carousel. Get a little slidey, but you can see the driver in that window. Not a lot of space in that car. I imagine he's smiling, but he probably won't be smiling so much when he gets his chiropractor bill. The 4 minutes certainly leaves room for one more lap. So it looks like the gaps behind are getting progressively larger, with the exception between Kerry Arnaud and Scott Nick, who has been caught up on for 3rd place just a little bit. He's still got about 7 seconds, so that's a lot. Oh, Dennis Johnson goes off in turn 1 as we start our last lap. don't know, most of these cars are 4 cylinders, obviously the Corvette and Decon Monza notwithstanding. I do wonder, I haven't done any research, but I do wonder if the Skyline Group 5 has a inline 4 turbo rather than a V6. Just watched a short little video about the Nissan Skyline Group 5 R30, which is what Perry Arnaud is currently driving. I can't tell for the sound alone. It sounds like it could still be a V6, but I'm not entirely sure. It also sounds pretty 4-cylinder-y, so that wasn't helpful at all, unfortunately. No help with that to read. Any audience, if you're still watching right now, place your bets in the comments below. What do you think happened to Matt
User in your
Higgs?
channel timed out.
Oh, he timed out. That was a bummer. Well, I guess you know now. But we will continue on. We will soldier on to the very bitter end. I'm by your side, audience, even though we didn't get to guess at what happened to Matt. Actually, we'll keep that offer open. Anyone in the feel free to comment in the status or put your comment down below the video. What do you think happened to Matt Higgs? Do you think his internet blew up? It's possible he fell asleep. Maybe he got mauled by a rabid grizzly bear. Maybe that's one thing. Maybe a rabid grizzly bear broke his internet and mauled him, which then caused him to fall asleep. You gotta be prepared for every eventuality, Matt. I'll go back to Mauricio Delgado, who has gotten the gap down to 12 seconds, which is where it's been holding for about a lap now. So we'll have to see what goes on. Can he make up 12 seconds in a lap? Ordinarily, I'd say definitely no, but this lap being what it is, anything can happen. Bears are now down to 4 drivers. Although, nope, just kidding, we're down to 5. Josiah still here. I'm not used to seeing a plus several minute gap. Normally it switches over to laps, as you see below with Maj. But since this is the Nordschleife, and it's absolutely enormous, leaves room for that kind of a gap. do wonder what would happen if they ever made one of these Group 5 cars that was front-wheel drive, or... I mean, they did make all-wheel drive, basically, that Audi GTO I was referring to earlier. I wonder if they ever made a front-wheel drive one. Probably be basically suicide. So, I can't imagine what lift-off oversteer combined with that absolutely ferocious turbo lag must be like. Plus the less grip, and then you'd probably be in third gear before your tires even began to hook up with the ground, of course. Mizu Delgado coming up to the mini carousel, and we see the very, very unhappy Corvette of Josiah Jerome going through, looks like Foxhole. That car is pretty dunzo. You can see it does not look great. His last chance to catch up. He's got 12 seconds to go, so I think it's pretty sealed that it's not going to happen. You can see just the clock ticking down on the gaps, just how much time he's making up. Almost a couple seconds in the last little bit. But it's not unforeseeable. They didn't even he was like 4 or 5 seconds out. He could have had it. But sadly for Mauricio, Dennis Johnson might be crossing the line. Did he run out of fuel? I think not. I think Dennis Johnson is our official race winner. Well, if these results are to be believed, Dennis Johnson wins round 2 of race 3. Or, it's wrong way. Race 2 of round 3. There we go. Ayrton falling somewhat distantly behind. Then Scott Nick, Josiah Jerome, Christophe Maj, and James Butler. Although the last 2 or so did not finish the race. Or I should say they retired. And there we go. Yep, official results. That is where we are. And so, yes, there it is. Dennis Johnson winning, followed by Mauricio Delgado, Karen Scott Nick, Josiah Jerome, Christophe Maj, James Butler, and the other Colavecchi, who did not start the race. So it's been great talking to you guys. It's been great commentating on this. Unfortunately, Matt Higgs left us. It's okay. His betrayal will be well known. Visit us, esr-race.org. We have a Discord. Join us. We do races like this all the time, especially on Sundays, which unfortunately it's much later than that this time we're getting this recording out, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles this time. Anyhow, see you guys later. Have a great one. We hope to catch you next time. I'm Cole McRae. Matt Higgs was around somewhere in theory. You never know. And we will see you then. Bye-bye.